So it's been corroborated. This dude, supposedly whistleblower, was a fucking setup from the very beginning. That's what the plan was. The objective was to have a system of humans in place, kind of like the baton relay race, where each one of them on command and with instructions would relay that information forward. And they would parrot, mimic, emulate, disseminate, broadcast, project the story one after another that everything that they were doing, Donald Trump was actually doing. They orchestrated this entire scenario from day one because they literally thought that they could do this in plain sight, and they thought that Donald Trump and his administration were just pushovers, were just some fucking idiots. And it's so remarkable, and it's just so amazing how fucking stupid these people actually are. I mean, they literally had nothing to go on. That's the whole gist of it. That's the crux of it all. They had nothing to go on. And since they had nothing to go on, the only thing they could do is act out of desperation. So they used this guy inside the intelligence community. He was one of their patsy lackey, bootlick lackeys. He's one of their fucking setup guys to make up, some story to pretend and to go along with it like Blasey Ford, sacrificial lamb, just a fucking fraud, fake, phony. And that's what they've all done. They really understand that they have no power. They really understand that they've been stripped of whatever power they had in the past. It's gone. And so now they're out of fucking business. And since they're out of business, they're trying to hold to something that doesn't even exist. And the only thing they can do now is, as indicated, act desperately. So you have all these wackadoos, because they're wackos. They're made up fucking punks, man. They're just chumps that are coming out of the woodwork, and they're like, I saw and observed and heard someone say something about how that person saw, heard, and observed Donald Trump act inappropriately, and the very nature of that is an impeachable offense. And it's just fucking ludicrous, man. It really is. It's so goddamn fucking stupid. And William Barr, when those indictments roll out and those criminal referrals get made, they're on the list. They're at the top of the fucking list. And they're going down, man. And that's why. Their days are fucking numbered politically, man. And they have absolutely nothing left to go on other than lies, utter lies, and deceit. So like I said, man, these people are grasping at straws. And they gave it their all, and that's it. They don't have anything else left. The only thing that they can do is try to concoct another pseudo-event, at which time even their own party won't believe it. They'll just be like, you know what, just give it up, man. Just fucking give it up, man. We lost, it's over for us. Because, man, it's so fucking obvious at this point. It's so crystal clear, like a crystal ball, that it's over for them. So I'll explain how that is the case. So let's say this operative, so-called whistleblower, who's not for real. We've already determined that he's totally fraud, totally fake, totally phony, and so are his attorneys that propped him up, that put him up to this thing. They all work together. They all collude together. They're all in cahoots. That's how they operate. Because remember, everything they're accusing Donald Trump of, you don't even have to think too deeply into what it is that they're doing. Everything they're accusing Donald Trump of doing is what they are doing. You see, because they want to be doing dirt in the Ukraine. That's what they want. They want to be doing dirt in the Ukraine. They want those contracts. They want those jobs. They want those monies. They want to be corrupt on that level. That's how they roll. So anything they do that is unscrupulous, unruly, keep in mind, they pin it on Trump, or they try to put it on Trump. Hillary Clinton, Benghazi. She ignored the situation in Benghazi, and she had an espionage server. So guess what that does? That opens the door to foreign adversaries who have an inroad via her espionage server at the time, and she's claiming that the former administration and other administrations allowed for the type of Benghazi and espionage server access that she had, which is a complete and total lie. Because again, whatever she's claiming, they're claiming that the Republicans, Donald Trump, has done, they're the ones that are actually doing it. They claim that Donald Trump is colluding with the Russians. Well, it's obvious now. Fusion GPS, Uranium One, they wanted to distract from the fact that they were, in fact, and are colluding with the Russians. I mean, think about it, man. They're fucking commies. They're communists. Okay, not everyone in Russia is communist, but the ones who are in Russia who are communist, who are colluding with Hillary and her camp, the Obamas and so on and so forth, they don't want for you to know about that. So they want to distract from that. They don't want you to think about that. And they want for you to believe that it's Donald Trump who's in collusion with the Russians. You get my drift. You see where we're going here? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is their modus operandi. That is exactly how they operate. That is exactly how they are doing business. Whatever they are doing that is illegal and improper, they are saying that it's Donald Trump who is doing the things that they're doing when he's in fact not doing any of what they're doing. So again, that is their modus operandi. That is how they operate, their modus operandi, not Donald Trump's. So they've all gotten together on this collective Borg, Beehive Mind Link, Neuralink, and they operate within media, mainstream, and these different circles, blogospheres, Twitter, verse, so on and so forth, these little corners of the internet. They think that people are inept and stupid, and that we don't know that they are all in cahoots to attempt to remove Donald Trump. They falsely believe that we had no notion that they were attempting to overthrow Donald Trump. They wanted for people to believe that Donald Trump was involved in all these improprieties, illegal activities, impeachable offenses, while at the same time, they were involved in plotting, planning, orchestrating a coup, premeditatedly. So they premeditated all of this. And they did this during the course of his election to office, his inauguration, and even beforehand when some analysts on their side suspected that he could theoretically become president. So they got together, put their heads together, and they started planning and plotting in a premeditative manner the overthrow, that is, the removal of Donald Trump from office in a coup attempt. So they committed treason, knowing that what they were doing was illegal, and they needed the media involved in which to help carry forward their efforts. We're about to piece all this information together, string it all together, do all the link analysis, and it's about to be crystal fucking goddamn clear to each and every one of you. If it isn't already. I'm just saying, man, we do have casual observers, people who haven't followed that closely, but they're fans of the show. Some aren't even really fans. They're just casual observers who aren't fans. So that's what I'm saying. Demonstrate and show the audience exactly how it played out. And by the way, you ought to know at this point, there is no real impeachment, and there never fucking was. And I said that from the very beginning, and I told you all that there was no real whistleblower because he doesn't constitute a whistleblower. He's a phony whistleblower, and that's been corroborated by multiple legal sources. That's right, by multiple lawyers and other folks who work in the legal community. He's not a real fucking whistleblower. He never was. And I know that because I knew that the whole thing was staged up from the very beginning. It was made to look like something that it wasn't and that it will never be. They just didn't know that their facade was going to crumble and fall apart as quickly as it did. They were not well coordinated. They had a lot of fucking hot air. They talked way too much shit. And I knew that it was all fucking bullshit, man. It was all steam, hot fucking steam, hot air, bullshit, BS. I knew. I mean, man, these people think that they're really fucking slick. And they're really, really not. And they never, ever were. And when I heard about this so-called fucking whistleblower, I'm doing the math like, that doesn't even make any fucking sense. If this dude had some type of intel, then why didn't he come forward earlier? And plus, I understand the whistleblower laws, and as it was being explained by the Democrat, socialist, wannabe Nazi fascist commies, I was like, wait a second, that doesn't add up, that's not right, that doesn't make any sense. Therefore, either A, there is zero person, and that shit is just totally fucking made up, or there is a person, and they're pretending like he's a whistleblower, when in fact, they have no such fucking whistleblower. He's just a dude who isn't a fucking real whistleblower. And he pretended to be a whistleblower, and now he's in deep shit. Doing some further research, take a look at the Washington Times. Not the New York Slimes, I'm talking about the Washington Times. And I want for you to look at an article from 6 November 2019, and it's by Victor Morton, Morton. And look at Mark Zaid's face. Look how he just looks fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Because, man, I went back and I read his goddamn fucking Twitter blog where he's calling people fucking frauds. And he's saying a bunch of shit. And he's challenging people. And he's talking out the side of his fucking neck. He didn't ever expect for people to call him out as a fucking fraud. And to call him out as a phony. And to call him out as a fucking hoaxster. Because he fucking is. Yeah. Now he's all concerned, sending information to the FBI because people are calling him, and and now he's crying foul. Yeah, but look how hateful the motherfucker looks, man. Yeah, that's my opinion. He looks like a fucking hater. He looks like a motherfucking hater. And he's a fucking hater. He doesn't just look like a hater, he's a goddamn fucking hater in my book. In my opinion, and in my expert fucking view. Fuck Mark Zaid and his law firm and his fucking partners and all of this shit that he talks about, man. Fuck him, dude. Dude's a fraud in my book. He loves to throw that term around, fraud. He loves to talk about national security. Man, I worked in more national security areas than this motherfucker ever will. This dude's a sucker. So check this out. We're going to take a look at Eric.